Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtapra Shinvata Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyantosti Bhadrani Vidhunati Surichatam Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtaki Srimad Bhagavatam uh, Srimad Bhagavatam Canto Canto 4 Chapter 28, verse number 23 and 24. Pashuvad yavaneresha nityam mana swakam kshayam anvadravan anupatha shochanto brisham atura. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charana Aravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. When the Yavanas were taking King Puranjana away in their place, binding him like an animal, the king's followers became greatly aggrieved. While they lamented, they were forced to go along with him. Purport. When Yamraj and his assistants take a living entity away to the place of judgment, the life air, and desires, being followers of the living entity, also go with him. This is confirmed in the Vedas. When the living entity is taken away or arrested by Yamraj, tam ukramantam, the life air also goes with him. Prano nutkramati. And when the life air is gone, pranam anutkramantam, all the senses, sarve prana, also go. Anutkramanti. Anutkramanti. When the living entity and the life air are gone, the lump of matter produced of five elements, earth, water, air, fire, and ether, is rejected and left behind. The living entity then goes to the court of judgment, and Yamraj decides what kind of body he is going to get next. This process is unknown to modern scientists. Every living entity is responsible for his activities in this life, and after death, he is taken to the court of Yamraj, where it is decided what kind of body he will take next. Although the gross material body is left, the living entity and his desires, as well as the resultant reactions of his past activities, go on. It is Yamraj who decides what kind of body one gets next in accordance with one's past actions. Purtim vihayo pagata uparuddho bhujangama yadatam evanu purt vishirna prakritam gata. Translation. The serpent, who had already been arrested by the soldiers of Yavanam Raja and was taken out of the city, began to follow his master along with the others. As soon as they all left the city, it was immediately dismantled and smashed to dust. Purport. When the living entity is arrested, all his followers, namely the life air, the senses, the sense objects, immediately leave the lump of matter, the body. When the living entity and his companions leave, the body no longer works but turns into basic material elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. When a city attacked by enemies is vacated by its inhabitants, the enemy immediately takes advantage of that city and bombards it to smash the whole thing into dust. When we say, "Dust thou art, and unto dust thou shalt return," we refer to this body. We refer to the body. When a city is attacked and bombarded by enemies, the citizens generally leave and the city ceases to exist. It is a foolish person who engages in improving the condition of a city without caring for the citizens of the inhabitants. Similarly, a living entity who is not properly enlightened in spiritual knowledge simply takes care of the external body. not knowing that the spirit soul is the principal factor within the body. When one is advanced in spiritual knowledge, the spirit soul is saved from eternal transmigration. The Bhagavatam considers those who are attached to their bodies to be like cows and asses. Sa eva gokhara. The cow is a very innocent animal, and the ass is a beast of burden. One who labors under the bodily conception simply works like an ass and does not know his self-interest. It is therefore said, Yes, यस्यात्म बुद्धि कुनपेत्री धातुके स्वधि कलत्रादिषु भौम इज्यति यत्तीर्थ बुद्धि सलील न खर्हिचित जनेषु अभिग्नेषु स एव गोखरा. A human being who identifies this body made of three elements with his self, who considers the byproducts of the body to be his kinsmen, who considers the land of birth worshipable, and who goes to a place of pilgrimage simply to take a bath rather than meet men of transcendental knowledge there, is to be considered like an ass or a cow. Bhagavatam 10:84-13. Human civilization devoid of Krishna consciousness is simply a civilization of lower animals. Sometimes such a civilization may study the dead and consider the brain or the heart. However, no part of the body is important unless the spirit soul is present. In modern civilization of cows and asses, scientists try to search out some value in the brain or heart of a dead man. ओमज्ञानतिमिरन्तस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे. मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुलं गिरि यत्कृपाथं वन्दे श्री गुरुदीनतारिणम्. वंशकल्पतरुषि कृपा सिन्धुवे च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. So in the purport today, Prabhupada is mentioning that how, when, what happens after death. The whole question in this whole world is what is after death? Is it this, is it that, or is it nothing? And that's why we have to take this knowledge from great souls. Why? Because they have seen, they know, they are the seers of truth. In one conversation with Srila Prabhupada, one of the person was arguing that the pronunciation of Ram and Krishna is your disciples are not doing it properly. And then Prabhupada was saying, no, no, it's fine. And then the whole conversation went back and forth. And Prabhupada said, no, it is Krishna. So he's like, Krishna. And they were going back and forth with this whole thing. And Prabhupada in the end said, Bhavagray Janardhan, we'll see at the end of our life that who's what. So Prabhupada is putting up a point that this body is not the end. Yes. We can see the disappearance of Srila Prabhupada is coming up, and we have a class on Sunday, and we have the festival on Saturday morning. The whole point of Srila Prabhupada's disappearance and when he was actually performing his pastimes is actually heartbreaking. At the same time, it teaches us so many lessons. That Srila Prabhupada was not attached, yes, to the body. He had already attempted to actually give up his body 2 years back. He was going to fast. But on the request of everybody else, he did not do that. He said that, okay, I will stay because you want me to. However long Krishna keeps me over here. Otherwise, Prabhupada was saying that I have given everything, everything is done. So, when Prabhupada was actually on his bed in the last few moments, somebody actually did mention it to him. Prabhupada, you're going in through so much pain. How can we live seeing you like this when we are all here. And Prabhupada looked at him and said, do not think that you won't end up like this. Yes, it is just a matter of time. So that's why when we are proud, sometimes, uh, usually I have this problem, but whenever we are out there and you meet new people, young people, younger than us, then usually that whole thing goes by that, oh, okay, oh, yeah, then you get the age factor into picture and all. And then you realize that, oh, okay, you're not in your 20s. Yeah, you're not in your teens. And then they have that very, very much attached, bodily attachment, that how things have to be there, right? So at that point, we get to know that how we were all at that point, somewhere in our teens, at some point in our life, but now we are not. Yes. But if we are attached, then the whole thing comes back that we suffered because we are attached to the body. Yes. Yes. And that's why we can see the other person is also attached. But then right now they don't see that, oh, it's a problem. Yes. Because why what's the problem in being attached to the body? Over here it is said it's like a go khara, like an asses and donkey. Sorry, asses and cows. Why? Because ignorant and just doing for the sake of doing immediately for the externals. So it does not make sense. But because we are attached, then we see all these shapes, form, and everything, right? Everywhere it is filled up with how I can be better than somebody else. Even amongst devotees, that competition is like a rat's race, Maharaj explains. In the end, somebody who is the rat, we are the rat. Yes, who wins? The rat wins. And what did we get? Nothing out of it. So it's actually null and void. Prabhupada mentions over here that what is the use of this whole body? Whether you are the greatest wrestler, but even a small mosquito, if it has malaria in it, it brings down the whole body. But because we see from a relative perspective that how I am beautiful or how I look so nice, how I have a great body, yes, if somebody else is better, then we become depressed. There's jealousy and envy. And that's why this is all on the bodily platform. Yes, it's all on the bodily platform. It's all for sense gratification. So that's why, at least for me, like that's why we try to focus on what is important and bring up that point again and again and again. That no, it's not about this body. This body is going to die. The whole problem is that whenever we go to, like in India, they actually have that in Kashi, right? There's Smashana Ghats and everywhere. It's Yukta Vairagya. Not Yukta Vairagya, sorry. Smashana Vairagya. We think that, oh, what is the use? In the end, everything is gone. And then we come out and then we have everything in perspective and then we again forget it. That's how powerful Maya is. We think that we are not going to end up like that. It sounds very depressing. But the thing is that what to do if that is the end? That's the question. Yes, and that's why Prabhupada mentions it is a foolish person who engages in improving the condition of a city without caring for the citizens or inhabitants. Yes, if we do not care for our soul, for who we are actually are, then only caring for the body is going to give us misery. Why? Because it is going to be taken away. Yes, as our youth is taken away. Yes, so is this body. The suffering comes the more we are attached to our bodies, to the youth and everything. The more we will suffer later. The person who's not that attached, he won't suffer as much. That is seen. Yes. If you see, like I was thinking many years back, oh my God, you're 25, and then it's horrible, and then you're crying and all. What is going to happen in the future? My God, how am I going to survive? What did I do? Did I do everything which I wanted to do when I was 25? Then you have this bucket list and this and that and this and that. Oh my God, I didn't do this. I need to do this. What happened to that? And we create this whole phantasmagoria. But actually, who cares? Why are we doing it? Somebody might say, I'm doing it for myself. The self, you don't even know what is the self. How can you do it for yourself? And that's why go khara. Yes, that's why every activity we have to see what is the purpose. Even in Krishna consciousness, even in Krishna conscious activities, why are we doing it? Are we doing it for the bodily platform? In connection to Krishna, we get some benefit, yes, but not necessarily. If we do not connect totally, then we will suffer for the part with which we did not connect. For example, you know that I am attached to the house. If I don't see it as Krishna's, when the house is taken away, it is depressing. Yes. But I can say externally, oh, this is Krishna's house, I am such a nice, or this is, Braj, this is Mayapur, this is this, and this is that, look at my house, I'm so Krishna conscious. And we can say all these things, but eventually, that TV, that sofa, that backyard, that front yard, you know, if I do not connect it to the Lord, I do not think that this is a property of the Lord. I do not behave in a way that I'm taking care on behalf of the Lord. Yes, to that degree, I will suffer, and that is guaranteed. Whoever we are, it's not like, oh, I took initiation from here or there, or oh, no, 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 this is America. It does not work over here like this. No, no, no. Suffering is going to be there for everybody. It's not a magical wand. It can never be. Yes. And that's why whatever we are attached to, whether we are attached to our bed, whether we are attached to, to the bathroom, to our closets, to our clothes, if we do not see the connection with Krishna, then it is not going to get connected automatically. Sometimes Maharaj was saying this, sometimes we think that we become devotees, and then yes, everything is in connection with Krishna, right? I'm doing everything what is supposed to be done. No, it's not like that. If we don't see the connection, then it's not Krishna conscious, right? The bhoga becomes prasad when it is offered to the Lord. So, if it is not offered, it remains as sense gratification, correct? Yes, whether we accept it or not. It's sense gratification. At least we should accept that. And that's why the part comes that how much are we connecting it to Krishna? Are my kids connected to Krishna? Are my kins connected to Krishna? Am I taking care of my sister or brother or whoever? Is because they are my sister and brother. And that's it. If that's the whole thing, then I will suffer in the future. Why? Because it has nothing to do with Krishna anymore. Oh, no, 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 I am a nice person, that's why I'm doing it. Oh, no, no, I'm a nice devotee, that's why I'm doing it. Yeah, then 10% benefit we'll get. But the 90% of it, when that same brother and sister are going to change in the future, I will be so attached that I help them that, that suffering will come later, somehow or the other. Rather than doing it as a duty because Krishna would be happy that I am being a nice brother, you know, otherwise it won't work. It won't work. Yes, because then I will get attached. It's so hard, saying it right now and actually doing it are two different things. And that's why Maharaj explains this point. It is totally different. Krishna consciousness is not only in the temple. Yes. It is Bhagavad Gita, when changing diapers of babies, we can go back home, back to Godhead. That's the statement which Maharaj makes. By changing diapers of babies, one can go back home, back to Godhead. How? Because there is no difference between the spiritual and the material world. The difference is in our consciousness, in our perspective. Because we are not Krishna conscious, we won't see it in connection with Krishna. Yes. And that's what we are trying to teach in the International Society of Krishna Consciousness. That's what Maharaj says, that's what Prabhupada says. That this is what we are trying to teach. I'm verbatim, I'm not saying that. This is what we are trying to teach. This is what Bhagavatam is trying to teach us. that how to connect each and every aspect of our life to Krishna consciousness. Why Bhagavatam gives Puranjana story, why Bhagavatam is giving Dhruva story, is because how we should connect everything to Krishna. Yes, and then make our life successful. So eventually we might think, because we are all majority having homes and everything, it becomes a big aspect that how it is connected. We might externally have tilak, dhoti, kurta and everything very nicely, but if it is not internally connected, we will remain wherever we are. Yes. Only an advanced devotee can actually see the connection. And the day when we think that we are connecting it, that's the illusion sometimes. I've seen amongst my people also. Like you see that, oh, they think everything is connected. But when we question, they do not know how to answer. No, no, they are innocent, they don't know how to answer. No, no, it's not like that. If we do not know how to answer, that means we are not able to actually practice it. Yes. If I have to ask for a recipe and if I know the recipe, then I can explain it properly. If I'm able to connect, then I'm able to explain it properly also. Yes. And that's why it is not a lack of skill, it is a lack of Krishna consciousness also. Yes. So we have to be careful. And that's why these purports are to bring us to that point that how we can connect everything to Krishna and how our identification will become less and less as we connect to Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Granth